Hey guys, BMI back here today with another video, this time covering the best way to kind of reroll your account for Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. Obviously, the monetization has been a topic of controversy recently, but instead of complaining, I think it's more pragmatic to think about, the best way to navigate it, and I think rerolling is a very good strategy if you have the time and if you don't have the budget to kind of whale like some people like myself. So this is kind of me making a fresh account, just showing you kind of how to reroll your account. It's very simple. You have to go into the tutorial. It doesn't really show in this video too well, but basically everything in the top right, you can actually skip. So like basically the entire tutorial, the battle, all of this can be skipped very easily, right? So it only takes about a minute to get into this type of screen here. And yeah, we've named the account Reroller because that's literally what we're doing here. So you can see like literally all these screens you can just skip. You just click the top right. You get your daily free card pack. So I mean, obviously you open your card packs. So you start with opening the card pack as you do. Hopefully you hit something good, right? Maybe you hit like a leader and you just stop right there. And you consider that your account. Depends on how greedy you want to be. I think generally speaking, at the end of the reroll process, you want to have a couple of legendaries more than the average number, or like a gacha hit like a Albert, Cerberus, or Orcus leader or Altart. So yeah, effectively like the Highroll strategy, I'll tell you guys first, right? Basically, in this game, there's like a feature like called the Shadowverse Park, and they've got like a chest in the middle of the park, and you can open it with these park keys, right? And there's like a various percentages, and they don't publish it, but obviously a number of people have managed to pull the 100 pack reward in the chest, and it's a very low percentage, obviously. But when you have infinite number of tries in order to hit it, if you have enough time in your hands, you will eventually hit the 100 pack gacha hit, and then that's when you start rerolling. So here you can see me, I'm opening the chest. So I do believe these can actually just hit 100 packs. They seem to be random. And on top of that, if you don't trust that, if you don't trust it's random, you can also get the free card pack ticket for logging in. So you can see here, I'm just claiming it. I'm running up to the chest. So you start with 0, right? But you can actually quickly get it. You can either click this go to park quest button or F3 on PC. And then you can see you can claim this chest, this park key immediately. So with this one, you can just open the chest and you have a chance of hitting the 100 card pack ticket. Obviously, that's super low. And here I'm going to show you the lineup. So you can definitely hit this. And if you hit this, basically, this is the equivalent of whaling like a few $100s. I'm actually a little sad that I didn't think of this when when I made my account. But obviously, I'm a content creator, so I have to. I can't fall behind, right? The other thing you can do, so you can either call it here if you want to like optimize your time. You might find a better method, obviously. But if you want to do like all the quest lines, so you can get all the park keys, so you can probably get like 15 or 20 or something like that. And then if you don't hit, you can reroll after. So one of them is like the knockout match, obviously, and you can play a few games in the lobby. So this is a knockout table. You just play this and you just lose instantly. But you can't concede. So I recommend you pick Abyss because it does self damage to your leader. And then you just let your opponent kill you, unless they're doing the same thing as you. But it's pretty unlikely. This guy is in A rank, so I expect that he will just kill me. So we do jump into it, and it's a relatively long game, all things considered, because it's playing one of the slower classes to kill you. But generally speaking, this shouldn't really take more than like a few minutes, especially if they're playing on something like Sword. But yeah, this game is a bit of a slog, but eventually we just die. And after you die, you'll notice that you clear a reward, so you get the Rupees Galore chest and 2 park keys. And then you check your quest button again, and you'll notice that you cleared this daily park key as well. And then also if you earn enough points, at 20 you get 3 keys, at 60 you get 3 keys, at 10 you get another 4 keys, right? And then after that you can definitely give up on the account or continue with it. If you're aiming only for the 100 card pack ticket, mega gacha hit. So here again, we just open another, I think it's 3 tickets, pray we hit, but the odds are pretty low, so we don't hit, obviously. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the park chest. So apart from that, I'm going to show you guys what the, the less like kind of time consuming method is of like rerolling. So obviously you want to clear all of these quests so you get all the rupees. So usually the way you'll do it is you'll open your park chest keys to see if you high roll, and then you'll open your 30 car pack tickets essentially, and then see how you go. Hopefully you hit a bunch of legendaries, so like there's no limit, right? Overall, I think you want to hit around 10 legendaries, and then that will be considered a pretty successful reroll. Obviously, the odds of that aren't super high, but I mean, again, that's the whole point of rerolling, right? So you can get like the best opener. We obviously don't hit a particularly great opener in our packs, but it's fine. And then once you're comfortable with sort of like the hits that you've got, what you want to do is you want to line it up with like the starter deck missions. So suppose basically you want to play like Abyss, or if say you want to play like Portal or something, and you've hit like a majority of the Portal cards. In that case, you probably want to buy the starter deck so that you're one legendary closer towards the archetype. And then after that, basically, you're pretty close to like a fully complete deck, and you can just play Shadowverse Worlds Beyond with like a tier 1 deck. And so here's like an example, right? Like all of these decks are the ones that you can get with with your free starter deck. And so like what you want to look at is pretty much like the legendaries and the golds, right? And then you want to see which one aligns to like your collection in the way that you can build a deck with the cards you've been given, essentially. So the starter decks will usually enhance what you already have. And if you have like, I don't know, 6 legendaries of the class, like it's good enough to like, win in the first like, 20 hours of play or whatever for Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. It's all MMR based anyway. So if you're losing early, you're gonna verse other people who lose early, and then your win rate will stabilize. And vice versa. If you like pay to win whale, like eventually you're just gonna verse people who also whaled, right? So you don't really get an advantage from whaling, and there's no real competitive tournaments until at least for English until like July. So like end of July in set 2. So I mean you don't have to rush into it anyways, in my opinion. So if you guys are wondering about what decks to play, I recommend using our website, so Worlds Beyond CCG Master. So this will have everything that you need in order to work out what's kind of top tier in the meta. So we've got articles, Discord, Patreon, YouTube, and the latest decks here. And you can see like we've got win streaks as well. So these are people who have had like noticeable success with their respective decks, right? So you can check that out. Also, we have a tier list, so this gets updated recently based on how I'm feeling. I think Artifact Portal is just the best deck of the format right now, but I mean everything's playable, especially if you have the cards. I think even the I put Abyss in tier 4, it's not actually that bad. It's just the fact that it's the worst deck, but the worst deck can still beat the best deck. Oh, maybe not Artifact, but the worst decks are still able to be like the tier 2 and tier 3 decks. So I mean I think it's fine. Like if you want to play Abyss, it's totally fine. So you can click on these and it shows you like, most popular build, featured list with win streaks, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean I totally recommend my own website, obviously. But I think it's a great resource. Hope you guys will, continue to use it and provide feedback where required. So yeah, that's basically it. So you basically just reroll your account until you have a deck that you're comfortable with. It's a great way to kind of get a competitive deck without spending a lot of money, but in exchange, unless you get really lucky, you're going to be spending a lot of time instead. It's pretty common in gacha games, and it's great to have a bit of a head start, and then afterwards you can decide whether or not you want to spend more money or not. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Make sure to give us a like and subscribe if you like the video and this type of content. We're doing a bit of a mix at the moment because it's launch, so of beginner content and also competitive content. And for people who are like looking to get into the competitive scene as well, I'm one of the best players in Western Shadowverse. So I run a Patreon for people who really want to win. So definitely check that out if you're looking to compete in the Shadowverse Open. But otherwise, hope to see you guys next time. I'm out.